welcome to a new video. It's been a while since my last, with very good reason. Life has been so manic for the last few months. Where do I begin? Babies, 3 weddings, 3 best man speeches, stag do's, and loads of other stuff on top of that. But I'm going to save the explanations about what's been going on for the next video, which is coming in the middle of this month. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a full process video of a pretty interesting piece I've been working on. This video is part 1 of 2 of something a little bit different. So I'm about to drive to Bristol to pick up a very good friend of mine called Noel Guard. He's an amazing artist. I met him about 8, 9, 10 years ago at a convention, and we hit it off straight away with our like-minded outlook on life and interests. We pretty much always get drunk when we're together, but we always have a good time, and we decided it would be great fun to do a collaboration painting together. This would be something a little bit different, something I've never done before and something he's never done before. So last night I drew my section on a canvas. He's already done his. He's going to bring his down, and we're going to find a way to transfer it onto the canvas I've drawn on, so that way we'll both be painting on the same canvas. Chances are we're going to be having a lot of laughs through it and going off on tangents, but we'll make sure we give you lots of information, our insights into things, and explain to you stuff that has inspired us over the years, as well as stuff that will hopefully inspire you. So we hope you enjoyed the video. So like I said, this video is going to be part 1 of 2, and the second part is going to be completed early September, after we've done a convention where we will be finishing the painting. On the 1st and 2nd of September, Noel and I are at Nice comic convention in Bedford, which is in Northampton, and we've got some tables there. We're going to be selling our prints and stuff like that, but we're also going to be finishing off the painting we are doing in this video. So hopefully we're going to get some good work done over the next day or so, and we'll be finishing off the painting at the convention and vlogging the whole day and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully you're going to find this interesting, and I better get going, otherwise he's going to be in a pub drunk and it's all going to go. I'm so late for Noel. He's in there, waiting patiently. I got it wrong. He's on the bridge over there. Oh man, 2 hours late. I knew this man. There he is.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Sorry about I'm so late.
Fucking filming me.
I'm vlogging. What's that on your back? What's that on your back? It's got like weird lumps at the bottom.
Talking about my ass.
Yes. Another handshake. What is that?
Come on, let's go. All cat scratches all over it, like little nibbles.
Oh,
what is your problem? Come on.
Guitar cleaner? That's string cleaning fluid.
This is our loot for later, mate.
I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. We're gonna open it when I get in. Do I need to tune it?
Yeah.
No. What are you doing now?
I'm just about to. I've got my little painting shorts.
You're painting French knickers.
Yeah, which I like to wear. So I'm just going to put these on for comfort.
Okay, comfort first. So we're back at the studio.
Chris, I told you about not.
Are you going to talk or anything? Or just like cruising?
So we're back in Wales. Picked up Noel.
You live here?
Shut up. No, you can.
I mean, how amazing is that? That's the only reason why I come here, is to look at that view.
Wait, are you talking about... Oh, yeah. Well, what can I say? We'll do this indoors.
I didn't realise Jess was entering the vicinity.
It is,
well, it is what it seems.
This is Noel.
And this is Chris Lovell. I think people probably know who you are. Right. Did I pronounce your name right?
Lovell. It's Lovell, but I've always been partial to Lovell.
When we first met, you said Lovell.
It sounds better.
It sounds more exotic.
It smells French. Stop! Well, Noel's come from Oxford today, dragged me out of bed. I was 2 hours late to pick you up from Bristol to do a collaboration painting. Now, this is something we've been planning to do for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah. What's so funny, man? I'm just agreeing.
They've been on the run for a couple of hours now.
Oh, 12 vodka.
She just laughed. That's like the 3rd time she's laughed ever.
Uncle Noel's a joke, isn't he? This is a big joke.
good for it to be really
So Chris and I, we've decided to finally, after we've decided to do finally a collaboration of our conjoining our artwork. Do you mind not interrupting?
Jess, put her in the dark, soundproofed cupboard.
I used to go under the stairs, Chris.
I brought back dark memories.
So we're gonna do.
Jess,
Sorry, she's so cute.
this baby face, not that one.
The reason for you being here now.
Well, it's not the first time we come here, is it? To be fair. No, the reason for us coming here today is so myself and Chris can hopefully start a artistic collaboration.
We were supposed to start this morning.
Yeah. We've been a bit slow going. We've had a lot to catch up upon.
Yeah, just humour, lots of laughs.
Lots of libations.
Cooked breakfast.
Yes, cooked breakfast. So much cheaper than Oxford as well. But let's not talk about prices of breakfast. That's really boring.
Keep watching it, it's going to get good.
Soon we're going to start our collaboration artistically, and we'll go from there.
What Noel's trying to say is we're both going to do a painting together on the same canvas. It's something we've been meaning to do for like a couple of years now, isn't it? Noel's very, very good, which I'll splice in here, at doing cybernetic stuff, like biomechanical. What do you specialise in, Noel?
Okay, so obviously my forte is probably the cyborg sort of stuff I've been doing recently for the last couple of years. Chris is sort of generic sort of fantasy with flowers and animals. But we thought combining those two very mundane mediums would create an awesome piece of artwork. So we've Chris sent me the dimensions of the canvas we're working upon.
Say that again.
And we're going to make a start shortly on that.
Yeah. Well, so Noel sent me a sketch, which I'll splice in here, of what he's envisioned, which, as you'll agree, is a beautifully detailed piece, which was a bit annoying for me because it meant I had to put some effort in. So last night I drew my variation of that. Complement the image with having two objects. How was that?
Yeah, that's good. She's not very happy about that though.
Okay, sorry. We might as well. You know what?
I'll pick them up, mate.
Pick them up, Noel. Oh my god.
You like his bitch or something?
I've always been his bitch. That's how he's ever. That's all. I can't even get my sentence out. I'm his bitch, yeah. Myself and Chris connect on a sort of cellular level.
Bring me a higher love.
Guys, like.
Wow.
She's got so much
Oh, Noel's wearing his shorts. Check it out. The suggestive stains.
You need some of those, Chris.
Yeah, you
do.
What?
Just paint
Snail
all over
trails?
his legs.
Nice painting.
It's very vibrant. No, I tend to wear.
Some red.
These are my painting clothes. I'm sure Chris has got much the same.
Well, we've got off to a great start. We need to we'll explain throughout the video when we're painting how me and Noel met, likewise interests and all that sort of stuff. But basically me and Noel are from the same factory. If there was a factory making artistic males, me and Noel are pretty much like programmed with the same data. We grew up with
To our American friends.
Yeah, data. We grew up with very similar interests. Like it's almost uncanny how like-minded we are.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually scary. So
I haven't got a room.
I feel a bit uncomfortable.
I always feel uncomfortable around you.
What's your elbows? High and What's your elbows?
We met in Bristol. I think it was about. I don't even know what year it was now.
Like 7 years ago, something like that?
It was about 7, 8 years
7 or 8,
ago.
maybe even 9.
Maybe 10. But we've got a lot of similar interests. We've spoken about doing a collaboration for many years. I don't know what stopped us. We had
Effort.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, probably.
The fact it's like nearly 6 PM, we haven't even started.
We will start. And you're not zooming in my ear, are you?
No. I got distracted.
But it's that's easily done, especially when I'm
Is it
talking.
still filming? I don't know if I've got
It's still filming, yeah.
Yeah, it's alright, you're an independent woman.
Should we show the people
You got to stop clicking your fingers,
Can't
man.
help it. Oh,
Shall we show people what we're doing?
should we show people first what you gifted to me today? Noel messaged me the other day on Facebook with with a gift, and it is within this black bag
Want me
here.
to get it out? So you get it out. I'll hold the camera. I can't believe
I can't believe you've actually given this to me. I mean, jeez. Guitarists amongst you might be able to recognise what is within this case by the shape of said case. Close this door. Right. Ow. Okay. Why have you given me a guitar? What's the catch?
There's no catch, man. Guitars are meant to be played. I didn't play it, and I thought, you know, we're fellow sort of enthusiast of Dimebag Darrell. This is a Dimebag Darrell.
Well, like, Noel and I are both very passionate musicians, guitarists, songwriters, and such. And
I can't repeat.
What were you just saying?
I was saying the reason why I gave you that guitar, Chris, is because you play Telecaster for metal, and that's disgusting. Simple as that. That's the sole reason why I'm giving you that guitar.
I named that Telecaster because there's a bare knuckle pickup in it.
Yeah.
And
It's not metal, is it, mate? You're a metal guitarist. You need a metal guitar. If it took me giving you one of my old guitars for you to become a metal guitarist, then so be it.
where were we before the storage rudely interrupted us?
You haven't even seen this guitar yet.
I haven't even seen it.
What?
Right. There is an art collab video coming, so just keep watching, guys. This is probably be like a 2-hour video. What do you reckon? Oh my god! You even polished it.
I did. I cleaned that guitar. I polished it and I put new strings on, man.
God. Oh, bring it in. You might have to tap the screen to focus. I don't know.
It's all good, mate.
To Chris,
Live for art, die for metal.
your friend Noel Guard.
And I put the Japanese symbol for death in there. It's not tuned in, Chris. It's got new strings on.
I can work with that. Let's tune this bad boy in. Plug it into that.
Don't tell me what to do, mate.
Yeah.
Actually, we should probably do some artwork, man.
We're gonna get to that. Let's plug this bad boy in. Like Pantera. Well, you know, anyone who's into metal, like Dimebag's probably the most influential guitarist of all time. Would you agree?
He's one of them, mate. Yeah,
Absolutely
definitely.
top 5.
He's one of my
100%.
favourite guitarists.
100% in the top 5. So, you know, when I was a kid growing up, like, you know, a Dimebag style guitar, was it Washburns and Deans, wasn't it? But you know, this is the Washburns, so this is prior to the Dean, you know, wasn't it? Anyway, let the metal do the talking. Let's plug this bad boy in. Where's my sound? There's my sound.
Doesn't sound that great. Just make sure it's tight because it comes loose.
if someone says something's for free, there's always a catch.
See what I mean? You can't bend them, man. You're proud to want to forget my son, to include everyone. Because you know, you're one of my best friends. Really? But that will come off. If you
I can
yeah.
probably scratch it off.
Yeah, I've put your friend Noel Guard. I wasn't sure.
Well, maybe I can edit it. Your acquaintance, Noel Guard.
Yeah.
I've just taken down the Ibanez, so now it's going to have pride of place right here, right now.
I don't want to get rid of that now, actually.
You changed your mind now, haven't you? You just did this as this one big tease.
I actually feel I've made a bit of a mistake giving it to you.
You have.
I've just witnessed you playing as well, which is abysmal, and you keep putting it down to the strings, but...
So we're going to get back to the collaboration video. That is the purpose of this video. So we're going to go into the lounge now, and I'm going to show Noel what I came up with last night. And he hasn't seen this yet.
I haven't seen it yet, man.
Okay,
Actually,
I'm going to show Noel now.
What? No. Anyway, I threw it down onto the chair and it landed in the most provocative position. Look at
it's
that.
like, hey, you know,
It's like,
I'm comfortable with my sexuality, are you?
Okay, Noel, you ready?
So this is the preliminary drawing I did.
Is that Metallica tattoo?
Yeah, embarrassingly, old school Metallica. This glass is empty, so I need to refill that. Actually, we'll do this in the next room because that's where your canvas is.
Oh, before we begin, that there is a painting of Judge Death done by...
I don't know, who is that?
That was done by Noel. So there's a little taste of the sort of things this guy is capable of. This monster. Yeah.
What we got here is the pencil prelim which I did for this collaboration art piece, because apparently that's what this day is about, even though we've taken a long time getting there.
We're losing the sunlight. We are losing the sunlight.
We've been drinking all day and catching up and having some good fun. So I haven't seen Chris's drawing on the canvas either, so we're going to see if this fits. What I've done is preliminarily drawn a tracing which I think hopefully will fit Chris's canvas, because he gave me the dimensions of what he's been working on. So let's go and see if that fits now, shall we?
Yes, let's go.
It smells great. It's that like garlic chicken.
That's good. Okay.
I love that painting, man.
That one I'm not really supposed to show. Actually, this is a sneak preview because I'm going to be doing a full tutorial video of this painting here. So if you're watching this video, there's your sneak peek. And yeah, stay tuned because there's going to be a full process video.
I think you should give me that painting, Chris, because I've admired that for many years.
That's why you gave me the guitar, isn't it?
Well, exactly, because I've admired that for like 2 years. Oh.
I've admired you for many more.
Oh no.
Right, oh, so here is what I have done. So this is the canvas. Okay, go nice and straight. Noel is an incredible cybernetic...
Well, a cyberpunk artist, he's not wrong. This is some of my artwork.
Look how, one thing I love about Noel, well, many things I love about Noel's art is his his cleanness of the lines. I mean, look at this, it's like architecturally perfect.
Well, I did A-level technical drawing, Chris.
Did you?
Thanks for I did, yeah. And
well
thanks for highlighting that. I don't know, I've always been quite clean with my lines.
Beautiful, so nice, man. You know, but it's perfect in itself.
Here's so that's the original sketch that I did, and here's the basically I just enlarged that a little bit. Chris gave me the dimensions of the piece of the board.
Yeah, so I gave him the height and the width. So Noel's, well, you've drawn it, then you retrace it at a larger size.
I hope this fits, man.
Yeah, if this doesn't fit, we've got problems. if this doesn't fit,
let's check it out, man. I don't even know if this will work, but. That looks like alright. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Look at that, because they're making eye contact. That's what we want. Dude, if you turn it like that, the hand there goes straight into that gap. So dude, that's what I did.
Yeah, look, so they're eye level.
Yeah. Man, so, you bring it so you can just extend those cables out.
I'll just continue the wires. Oh, man, that fits perfectly.
Less language. Would the video be flagged on YouTube?
I don't care.
I do.
Put that back a little bit, I'd say. Give yourself some room for the hands.
Perfect. That is perfect. So I've gone for more of a kind of weird, like demonic sort of cyborg, like maybe part demon, part cybernetic organism, and Noel's gone for a more sort of endoskeleton type biomechanical horror. Outline. So we're going to work out how we're going to transfer Noel's outline onto this canvas. So we're going to crack on with that right away. Stay tuned!
If I've done a sketch and I want to do it a bit bigger, I'm pretty old school, so traditional artist, I don't use Photoshop or anything, so I'll transfer what I've drawn, I'll take a photograph of it, and I'll just enlarge it and trace it, and then cut out the tracing, and then just sketch around that for a rough outline. I haven't included a lot of the finer details because it's redundant, I just add that as I go along. Chris suggested that I do a pencil rubbing on the other side.
Yeah, so if Noel was to reverse this and then trace back over this with, say, a soft pencil like a 6B, then hopefully you can go like that, position it okay, and then rub like crazy.
What would I rub it with?
I don't know, a coin, maybe a coin.
Actually, we should probably just do that because we need to get on and start painting this thing, I think.
Laboriously redraw this with pencil on the other side, and then hopefully it will leave an imprint when we remove that, and then it's plain sailing from there. We're going to get this painted in what, 5 hours? Easy.
5 hours?
It's taken us all day just to get to this point.
It was taking us the best part of today just for me to get the tracing out of my tube. So
The art's about to start. I'm gonna steal Noel's techniques. We're all gonna steal Noel's techniques.
That's a good point, Chris, because I think this is an opportunity. Myself and Chris will talk about art techniques and stuff. Chris will call me about how I do certain painting techniques, and I'll do the same. I'll see a certain piece of artwork he has done, and I'll be blown away by it, and I'll call him up, and it's like, "F***ing hell, Chris, sorry YouTube, how did you do that sort of technique?" But we're very forthcoming.
We're very transparent with our
because like I say, we're good friends, and we both want to learn some more. So I think this piece, after sort of being friends for about 8 sort of years on whatever, we've done great numerous sort of pieces. It would be very interesting for us to both work on the same piece and see firsthand exactly what we're doing. Of course, you guys are going to be with us every step of the way. We're going to be hopefully a little bit more sober on the next revisit, but maybe we won't be.
Yeah, we've got 2 lamps, so we'll set up here, and we will be back in the next scene, hopefully set up with some fresh drinks and our painting station set up.
I just want to add though, myself and Chris, we're going to be at Nice Convention in Bedford, in Northampton in the 1st and 2nd of September. We're going to be obviously starting this piece today. Whatever we don't finish today, we're going to be continuing at the comic convention. So, I mean, how cool is that to see myself and Chris paint live in a convention setting? So
I can't think of anything better.
I can't. Maybe me giving you that guitar.
Yeah, that was better. Oh! Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
What do I
You
say?
got Dylan.
Dylan.
You.
Oh, let's do it again.
Oh my god. Man. I'll fix the drinks. You start outlining.
Amazing food.
Well, Jess has put on a great spread for. Oh my word.
And quinoa, got some halloumi salad. Healthy numbers.
Does it fit into your macros, Noel?
It should do.
I'll just get some more chicken, if that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't be a bit of sweet potato. It's a little bit of a al fresco dining while we contemplate tonight's artistic endeavours.
I don't want a chicken skin. Oh, it's really hot.
Careful, Noel. Those little arty fingers.
Little.
So Noel, what are you doing here?
Because we wanted the 2 pictures to be in eye line to each other, because we thought that would work really well.
Bear in mind, we both did these images separate to each other, so Noel's just using your intelligence, wit, and charisma. You've managed to draw that perfect scale.
It was mostly charisma, wasn't much intelligence going on. I'm just doing a quick sort of outline of the details I've already put in, and what we'll do is make a quick rubbing of this drawing. Obviously both myself and Chris's artwork is highly detailed, so I don't want to get all that detail in. I just want to get the rough outline just to sort of space things out and make it look aesthetically pleasing in relation to Chris's art. I can hear Chris making noises, so if he's pleased, I'm normally pleased.
So we're 7 hours behind schedule.
Yeah, but as you can see, actually,
maybe he should be sneaking up on that one from behind, like, oh! That's what it looks like.
Joking aside, it's one thing Chris is in awe with my artwork. My lines are very precise. I don't tend to do much sketching. As you can see here, I'm pretty to be fair. But my lines, pretty confident. I'm not saying that other people's aren't, but I don't know. It's just
you've got a more confident line than I have. I'm very sketchy.
Just my style, and it's one thing that people have commented on during conventions and stuff.
Very clean. You're the cleanest artist I think I've ever seen. Not just the only artist I know, but the cleanest artist I've ever seen.
Thanks,
like your lines are like, manga anime tight. The mecha stuff that you see in like Pat Labor and Macross and stuff like that. You've got that sort of that thing down.
Thanks,
whereas
bro.
with me, I tend to sketch light and then fashion my line from the rough sketching. So I'm very, very loose, and then I'll
go in and sort of chip away.
You're not that loose, bro.
Well, that's debatable. We'll see after tonight. Tomorrow.
I just want to get the rough basis of the initial drawing I've got done already. So yeah, we'll go through this really quickly. I mean, I don't even need to put in most of these details, to be fair. This is just sort of makes things a bit easier for me.
Once Noel flips this over, we're going to rub the other side, and that's hopefully going to leave the impression, even if it's just a faint outline, it's enough just to get the composition correct.
And we can tighten up as we go along.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 word answers, your 3 biggest influences when it comes to this style of art.
One of the most sort of influential aspects, which I still holds quite a big influence to me today, was a lot of sort of anime and manga.
Mm-hmm.
Sci-fi and cyberpunk was just starting to come in. For me, towards the late 80s, anime was a massive impact on me because it brought me to places where, I mean, visually it was phenomenal. There wasn't anything, I mean, the stuff they were doing in films was good, but anime it really took me to another place. It was like escapism, and it brought me to this sort of futuristic environment. And yeah, exactly. And it's
the first wave of manga from the 90s.
Yeah, and it wasn't this sort of whitewashed, sort of polished artwork that, you know, which is sort of cute and all the rest of it. It was gritty. It was hard hitting, amazing music. I remember, I mean, it's common knowledge, but to me, sort of Cyber City, which come out in here through some older friends or some friends of my elder brother, and that just blew me away. Otomo's work, but one of the biggest influences to me. Are you doing stuff on my back or what? My Instagram name 808 that come from Cyber City because in the sort of early to mid 90s that had such an impact on me. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, and
very, very clean artwork on that. Like,
yeah, but just
traditionally drawn.
And also very, very mature artwork. It wasn't. I mean, in today's terms, I suppose it might be seen, some of the dialogue and the script might be seen as a little bit sort of 80s action hero, a little bit misogynistic.
It works though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it works.
But to me, it was. It just blew me away, and it, like I say, had such an impact on me that I've always carried that through to today, and you can see it in my artwork now. There's certain influences to me.
So you like Massimo Shiro, The Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah. Mezamune, all those guys. So heavily influenced by Japanese artists, as well as sort of English comics as 2000 AD. I don't tend to do sort of too much comic work these days, but a lot of those guys, Simon Bisley, Greg Staples, Simon Davis, a lot of the, which we're still working in 2000 AD today, but Glenn Fabry as well, so many talented artists.
2000 AD has is the melting pot of comic artists for me.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
When I think of anything comic related, all the artists I love have worked for 2000 AD. You know, Judge Dredd.
But it's a very, very unique style, isn't it? It's, I mean, there's a lot of amazing American artists as well, but me personally, they didn't have a massive influence on me. I even sort of, in the sort of mid-90s, all that sort of artwork was starting to become a little bit too polished for me. I'm not saying that digital artwork, I mean, it's got its place, but it's not something that... But to me, it never... Well, we're the same in that respect. We both we grew up on traditional artwork, and it's been a very conscious effort in my eyes to continue to do traditional artwork just because it had such an impact on me. Yeah.
I liken it to... I want to do, art-wise, what would have made the 12-year-old me, like, you know, melt in a comic shop, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when you see, like, a certain comic or a graphic novel cover, or there's some certain things that are so, like, impactful when you were, you know, when you were a kid and you were into art and you were soaking up anything. You know, before the internet, you know, so you'd see a video game box cover like Shadow of the Beast or Speedball 2. I think actually Glenn Fabry
Speedball 2,
the painting for Speedball 2, and I always confuse that with Simon Bisley's Gods. I always thought like, oh, it's the same artist because first of all, it was Bisley
Very
clones.
similar, yeah.
Yeah, the Bisley clones of the 90s.
Well, Fabry influenced Bisley to a degree, didn't it?
But that's the stuff I saw, and that was what I was like, that just if I can do a painting now, which somehow makes me feel a sense of what I felt looking at that artwork back then that's what it's about to me.
Yeah, but you are doing paintings like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm trying.
It's, I agree, it was, these sort of single images would have such an influence, you know, on my life. It was escapism for me, artwork and stuff. I remember going to school early 90s and I had a Judgment on Gotham graphic novel, sort of Simon Bisley artwork, and fully painted, old school, English style comic strips, but obviously the English style I think was very unique, and that's why I've always been drawn to it. The artwork was raw, it wasn't digitalised. You could see the brushstrokes, and that's one thing that's
organic.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's influenced both, I think, myself and Chris. Yeah, and it was the rawness of the artwork. For me, I used to look at comic books, and I never used to even read the dialogue. It was all about the artwork.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a comic. I didn't care about the story. That was secondary to the artwork, always. Look, if I'm reading, sometimes you can happen upon something, you're like, oh, that's not really great artwork, but the story will hit you and be like, that's amazing, the story's great. But if I was going to walk into a shop, it'd be about the artwork, and I'd always buy the comic or the graphic novel which had the best artwork.
Yeah, and
that's why I would always be buying Simon Bisley.
And normally, what would lead you to that would be the cover, like the fully painted covers. It'd be like, no, it's amazing. And I remember just getting lost in that sort of style of artwork, and that's what I wanted to reproduce. Myself personally, myself and Chris, we've got a lot of similarities in that respect.
We're both from the same era, aren't we? We both.
And although our artwork is maybe sort of gone in different sort of directions.
Well, your artwork's more cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Whereas mine's more dark fantasy, I guess.
Yeah.
But I actually, it's kind of weird. There is a part of me that I avoided the cyberpunk thing when I was doing or developing my style, because I didn't want to be tied in with a Geiger thing. Because as soon as you start doing pipes and tubes, people go, oh, it's very Geiger. But you've done it in a way where it's very a homage to the 90s manga.
Definitely.
But you've taken it on, you've got your very own style where it's very stylized, beautifully like architectural, like placement of like the workings of like an endoskeleton or something like that. It's amazing.
Thanks, man. But I think for me, it's I'm fascinated with the human anatomy. So all my
breasts, boobs, tits,
exactly.
bums, penis, ball bag, scrotum.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Should we cut now?
But yeah, for me, it's about all my artwork. I'm normally sort of character led. I'm trying to emphasise a little bit more in the backgrounds, but for me, it's the drawings and stuff I'll do. I think it would be quite realistic. There might be extremes in there, but it's all centred around the human anatomy to one degree or the other. So that's what really fascinates me, is the human anatomy, the skeletal structure, the muscular structure. Obviously myself and Chris, we grew up on 80s films, we both do a bit of weights. That's the thing that I think I'm not going to speak for you, but I think that's, you ripped a amazing looking young man, well, middle age. I think that's something that we were both very interested in, was the aesthetics of the human form.
Yeah, and it's when you draw that, you try to cater for that. So the flow, it's like if you look at that, there's a beautiful flow to everything, and that's you tapping into the aesthetics you see in your mind's eye. So when you look at when you look at bodybuilders, when you look at like the smaller, like the men's physique, where it's very aesthetic, not the mass. I'm gonna go for the tangent, but no, when you look at a great physique, it just pleases your eye instantly. It's all about the lines and the way things connect. And it's the same thing when you do this. And I think if you do art, it's great to go to the gym and have an understanding of muscular.
Exactly,
because once you understand your body and how a body works, then when it comes to like sketching stuff up, you intuitively know what looks right and what doesn't.
Well, that's why your drawings are fantastic as well. I mean,
thanks, Noel.
You have Yeah, but you have obviously an amazing understanding of the human anatomy, or your artwork as well. I mean,
I decided to point out while he's saying that I wanted the head to be big on this, okay?
well, you wanted your head to be bigger than mine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so
and
that's
if you notice here, I've crept over just a little bit into
Yeah,
Noel's side of the
that's
fingernail.
fine as well. It's your canvas. It's your home. This is your camera. So we're good friends. So
Yeah.
there is. I think it is important to emphasise that there's a healthy amount of.
Sexual tension.
I wasn't going to say sexual tension. I was going to say competitiveness between myself and Chris.
Well, the way I've done it is if I have to cut this down here, I can always probably paint over a little bit of white there, get rid of Noel's side. So we can potentially. The beautiful thing is we can cut this canvas in half.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to have to cut it there.
Yeah.
And you might have to I don't know what you're going to do, but
Well,
I'll be okay.
We just get palette knife and you just cover over mine, don't you?
Yes.
Hopefully we don't get to the stage where Chris feels he has to cover over my side
Never.
of this piece. This is our first piece, so it is kind of trial and error. I've been round to this lovely home many times, and myself and Chris...
Chateau de Lovell.
Yeah, Chateau de Lovell. I've been a frequent visitor. If I was to give it a review, it would be maybe 3 stars out of 5.
How can I improve? Hospitality, you had a lovely cooked meal. Drink poured for you.
Your partner's an amazing cook. It's more your hospitality, to be fair.
Yeah, there's room for improvement there.
Yeah, I think so.
Join us in the next scene.
You got
when
run.
we see if we can transfer this to the canvas.
Yeah, but to be fair, you can't see it here, but around the outskirts of this building, there's a couple of Lovell paintings. There's one in particular which I really like, and it's that one on the easel. And it's the sole purpose of me bringing around
the guitar
for Chris, to be fair, because
you can have. Oh, it's not looking too good for lighting. Well, potentially.
It's an amazing painting, man. I love it.
Do you know what it's called?
I don't care, mate.
Nadia, which means last remaining light. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at the happy family. I'm gonna go on Jeremy Kyle and go at DNA test. Find out the truth. Once and for all. Is it my baby?
We're not worried about the DNA test, are we?
She's definitely got your legs now. She definitely has your big chunky legs.
You stopped it.
No, not yet. So we'll get some sellotape now and we're gonna lock it into position. I think about there, that's good.
Yeah, wherever you think, man. Give it a bit of room for the wires.
Yeah.
That's cool. Sort of dead up, exactly level, the eye level.
Perfect.
That's cool.
And what's great is that finger's just coming in.
Yeah, but it's nice that it's coming through, you know, because you don't want it just...
Yeah. Okay, if you want to take that in position. Hey, it's my artwork. Why would you do that?
Oh, dude, let's just rub it.
That is not gonna work.
It's perfect.
Sure. Okay, guys, I wouldn't recommend a kitchen knife for this. But no, oh my god.
Is that coming out?
Hey,
That's enough for me, man.
Okay, but I was thinking like the blunt end of a Sharpie. Like some kind of monster just hacking away. It's an accident waiting to happen. But I think this way you can be really precise and look at that.
That's much better, Chris.
Use that blunt end of a Sharpie.
Well, why am I doing it?
Because your side. I was kind of thinking like you follow the lines, but if you...
Dude, I just need to... Look, that's perfect. I'm not very delicate. There we go.
So you can essentially tighten up then.
Oh, dude, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I'll even go along the lines a little bit, like you said. Perfect. What do you reckon, man? Look, I can work with that.
Yeah, that's good.
I tend not to use permanent marker, especially on canvases for outline.
It bleeds through, doesn't it?
Yeah, although that looks amazing first off, when you start adding lighter tones, especially as you're bringing it from dark to light, all that permanent marker will come through.
That's kind of why this is a bit darker than usual, but that's why I used the brown for the outline of the face, because that's kind of along the lines of the colour I want to colour in.
Yeah.
I only use black on a few of the sort of tech areas.
Yeah, but even that, if that's shined through, that's not the end of the world, is it?
No.
But if you've got a thick marker,
Yeah,
you know,
especially on the edges.
yeah. If you were to go with pencil on top of that, I mean, you're going to have to use a lot of pencil, a real heavy pencil to draw on canvas.
Pencil's just a pain in the ass. I just smudge. That's why I always do my under
Exactly.
with pens.
Same as that. I always do my own drawings with an ink pen normally. So what I'll do, I'll probably use an acrylic pen on that, like an acrylic paint pen, just to get some of the outlines done. This underdrawing isn't going to look exactly the same as the pencil drawing that I've done, but that's cool because it was just yeah. So here's the so that's the original pencil drawing. I've got the basis in. You can see that Chris has shown me. Thank you, Chris. How to do a bit of a rubbing. He's rubbing himself up against me now, and that's great. But I feel aroused today with art, so.
Art arousal, which is a thing.
But to be fair, obviously you can see that I've increased the size a little bit. All the details aren't in there, but the basics are there, and it's on the canvas. So what I'll do, all these wires and stuff, that's just an idea. I just want to get a bit of a flowing pattern going off the head, the skull head. However those wires go, I'm not too worried about.
What I like about the wire, the flow of the wires, is that my character kind of looks like it could be screaming, and there's this energy coming that way, and those wires almost look like a wind blast, like it's like going.
Looks amazing, and,
so
and
it
the
really
way
works with
the way your hands touching out, like it's not, you know, it brings all the piece into one. So
it does.
You can already see that's going to be a really cool piece. Yeah, oh mate, that feels great.
Oh, I know.
We're talking about the art, Chris, not our.
You're all in knots.
I'm really tense, actually.
Well, you are. Relax.
I don't know what that's down to.
All kinds of tensions.
Anyway, mate, if we move on, let me get my little, what's the word I'm looking for? Pen? You know, like the little sacks that the pens go in.
Or pencil
case.
I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. Sorry it's taken a little while to get started, but this is the way we make videos, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. You know, me and Noel can't do things another way, to be honest. This is us, the Chuckle Brothers of the art world, we like to refer ourselves to. Are you Barry, or what was the other one called? You can be Barry.
You refer to us as that, mate. For many years, I would solely be using like acrylic paint to do paintings, but over time, you learn that there are little shortcuts you can take, and whatever makes it easiest for you to produce the final piece.
Exactly, so, that's why if I used to do all my paintings with or everything would be acrylic paint, and now I'm like, what is the point of mixing acrylic paints if I've got a pen?
Does it make a difference to the overall result?
It doesn't, you know, and
it takes you a lot longer.
But there was a part of me that was like, oh, if I do that, it's not authentic enough. Like, oh, am I cheating by using a pen? No.
If there's one bit of advice I can give anyone that's watching this video, don't be too concerned with what you think you should be doing. Experiment with art. These are just basic rules which myself and Chris do to produce a final piece. If you can find other ways of getting there easier, by all means.
Exactly. This is the way we like to do it, not necessarily what is right or what is wrong. Oh, this is interesting. What's got going on here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously here I've used just a normal sort of circular ruler. I've got this one as well. I use this a lot. Very precise. I mean, look at these bits.
Yeah, this is the stuff that puzzles me.
They're all done with this ruler. Oh,
that's not so impressive now. Now I don't respect you so much as an artist, Noel.
I couldn't care less what anyone thinks of me. I've got respect for myself, Chris, as an artist. It's called artistic integrity. But no, to be honest, joking aside, I'll use this ruler and this ruler, whatever makes it easiest for you to get the job done. So I'll position this wherever. Look, I've used it there.
So you just like position that and you eyeball. Yeah, it looks good. I love that little section.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I've just used this ruler, man. Whatever works.
You know what you should do with this? Maybe go in with a marker in some place, get a few dark areas, and then like give it a coffee stain wash.
Yeah, exactly.
You should write like gibberish, like anatomical, you know, like the Da Vinci paint, like sketches.
Oh yeah, like
make it look like some kind of thing. Yeah, like make a load
like the jawline.
Careful that pen.
Yeah, there'll be like.
Do it. Okay, just. Are you right on your knees?
Yeah. For me, this is quite comfortable. I like just to be like low. Color-wise, should we do like opposites of each other? I'm thinking I'm gonna have like an olive green skin. I want to have oranges and whites and aqua blues on my sort of body armour stuff.
In terms of colour scheme, I don't know. I'll probably go for.
Well, but while you do your drawing,
yeah, you can talk about your colour.
I'll start doing the colour schemes. Yeah,
you can talk about your colours and contrasting colours and all that.
Yeah,
maybe greys, reds, maybe a bit of teal in there. This side and your side just has to work well together because it is two separate pieces. That's almost that is to me that's almost like a you got these two artists using their. Because colour schemes are still very important to individual artists. Yeah. So you've got these two, it doesn't have to all work together well. You know,
I'm going to go for lots of rust as well.
Yeah, same as that. Lots of brown, raw sienna, burnt umber, all that. It will come together, mate. And the thing is, once we've got the basis done, we can, like the back, I think that's where the background, we can bring it in together. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you've got a bit of green over there, olive green or whatever. Let's put some down here just to...
So we could tackle what we might do when we've got this to a certain level. We'll maybe address the background then. Maybe the background can complement on both sides if you wanted to, can't it? Yeah. Maybe just spread some textures on and do some washes.
I think the sheer fact that there's two artists that people follow doing a one bit of artwork and with video on it, and then it's like, you know what? And it's being honest. You know, we've both got different styles, colour schemes. Yeah. We're going to draw something in that works well as a one piece now, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Be amazing, man. I've never seen a video like that. No. Have you ever seen an art video of two artists working on one piece?
I think I have.
Oh, I haven't.
We make these videos and we don't know quite how they come across, but all I want to do is do the sort of video that I want to watch, and hopefully you guys watching will enjoy this process, because this is the process in its rawest sense. So you're getting very much an insight into how Noel and I work, our personalities, and and everything. Personal. You're getting almost a fly on the wall.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. But we're just doing it in a very clinical context that we know we're being filmed. It's already hurting my feet. I just draw it right.
Pins and needles.
Right, let's get drawing, bro.
Right, let's get drawing. So, right, cheers. I'll get some lamps so we'll get some brightness and we'll get the ball rolling. So I've set up some lighting on either side. So hopefully it'll be a nice light source. What we'll do, we'll try and vary the camera angles to keep things visually stimulating. What I've got here, while Noel's doing his outline and stuff like that, I'll start adding some colour washes on top of my preliminary drawing. So I'm probably going to be using thinned down acrylic inks, which are these magic colour inks, which I've been using for years, and I've got some acrylics in there as well. I've got a few rough ideas in mind of colours I want to do, but I'm open to just sort of improvise and see what happens. I definitely want to be using, you know, I'm so bad. I mix colours on top of it's an absolute mess. Where's my special brush? There it is. This is the most expensive brush I've ever bought. This cost me 15 English pounds.
Wow, let's have a look at that, man.
But it's really soft and it's got a nice pointy tip. Wait, no.
The brushes that I buy, I absolutely fucking abuse them, man. And they only last a short while. So
this one I only use for it's got a nice. Well,
no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Because do you do the old licky?
I do. Hey.
Get it to a nice point. With my brushes, I go through them so badly, or I use them so quickly. I
like your women.
I'm a married man, Chris. I'm not going to comment on that. Obviously, I'm just going to talk about art now, if that's okay. That's a lovely brush. Yeah, you can feel by the density of even the hairs and stuff. Yeah. That's brilliant, man.
So I'm going to be using this with some thin down colour washes, which I'll just apply liberally over the top. But yeah, that's the most expensive brush I've ever bought. Most of my brushes come from pound shops, and or like I'll buy a pack of like 5 brushes from the range for like £2.99.
The range is amazing, man.
When I drop you back, we could maybe pop into a range store and have a look at some of the art stuff there. But it's good. It's very good. Anyway, enough plugging the range. This video is sponsored by the range.
Listen, I love the range, man. I mean, you live in Oxford, one of the most expensive places to live in the UK. You buy art supplies there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh. It's so hot in here, so I might have to strip down to my pants if you don't mind.
Listen, I've seen it all before.
Things are about to start taking shape now.
I think the plan, artistically wise, is I'm going to have a little go at just doing a rough outline of my piece. I think Chris is going to do some washes. Obviously his outline is already done.
Yeah.
I've visited Chris's house, which is an amazing experience, very welcoming. Chris had the opportunity. Oh,
The hostess with the mostess.
you're an amazing man. Let's be fair.
Thank you.
Chris had.
I can't tell if he's been sarcastic or not.
A lot of people can't.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not being sarcastic, Chris. You are an amazing man, and to be fair, you're an amazing host as well.
Thank you.
And your girlfriend. But joking aside,
Was that a
Chris had the opportunity. Do you want to get my top of my head in?
Let's get arty.
Wow.
Well, we were about to get started, but Noel has a disgusting habit, and he likes to vape, doesn't he?
I like to vape, and look at this view. Chris, turn the camera around, man.
Yes,
That's Wells Cathedral. Wells is the smallest city in England. Amazing.
It's basically like living in Middle Earth.
Look at this architecture. So beautiful, man.
Oh, it's Panda. Right, Pandy?
That cat keeps biting me.
That wall there was built back in the 1400s
I come down here.
to detox and get away.
I don't come down here to detox because I actually go back more drunk than what I started. Nice. Would you have any advice for any aspiring artists out there? I mean, not just follow your artwork, but in general, what would you say to them?
Above all else, draw what you enjoy drawing, and get your skills together doing what you enjoy drawing, and keep it fun always, and don't compare yourself to other artists. And now that social media is such a big thing, don't let the fact you might not have followers or anything like that make you feel of a lesser artist than those who do, because you could look at that and think, oh, no one's sharing my work, but if that doesn't devalue your work, it just means that the bigger audience isn't seeing it yet. So keep doing what you do, build your skills, develop your portfolio, learn, keep it fun always, and just do what makes you happy. And as long as you're happy with the pieces, hopefully other people will start to get on your wavelength, understand what you do, enjoy what you do, and it will just snowball from there. So just keep it fun and personal.
That's great advice, man. I mean, from my own personal view, I spent many years emulating an artist which I admired for many years, and though I learned sort of some amazing art techniques doing so, I was just a clone of that artist.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with my art.
But I think that's where we all start drawing other people's art. It's how,
Yeah.
but then it's when you've got to find that cut-off point. I mean, you had that cut-off point. Didn't
I
you?
did, and it was a revelation, man. And it was like, for me, I was doing artwork which, for whatever reason, I thought people wanted to see.
Yeah.
But I wasn't developing as an artist, so my personal view as an artist is, like Chris said, and it's just following up from his comments, do what you enjoy. There's a place for everyone. Do what art you enjoy.
And when you let go and you express yourself and you're doing something personal, then it's not even if people didn't like it, as long as you've got something out of that journey towards creating that piece, that's part of it. I think that's a huge thing. If I enjoy doing a painting, then that's the most important thing. If people like it, that's a huge bonus and a bit of a reward at the end of it, but that's not my motivation. I don't really think about that. When I take on it, start a new painting, I'm ready and I'm geared up for like an adventure. And I feel
excited about
I'm excited about what am I going to go through making this painting, and that's the buzz for me. It's the journey.
Well, for me, with every piece, artists can be a little bit insecure. I mean, our art is to a certain degree that people enjoy and that they follow, but we're all the same. Artists can be very insecure, so don't ever don't ever feel as though
you're less of an artist.
Exactly. So
because we're all the same. There's people who are more famous, just like actors. You could be going to drama school, but you're an amazing actor. That doesn't mean you're less than Brad Pitt, who's like some huge Hollywood actor. It's exposure, or they're two separate things, aren't they? You don't have to have a massive following or be some like well-regarded artist to be a great artist. You just got to be doing what you do, and if people like it, great.
Yeah.
But the core
So-
thing is, it's got to be fun, and you've got to draw from passion, I think.
Well, exactly, and I think that well, you certainly do that. You've got your very distinct style. It took me many years to get there. I'm the
Me
happiest.
too.
I mean, as an artist, I'm the happiest I've ever been because I've now. I'm doing the art.
My arm's aching.
I come to Chris's house quite frequently. He's always got paintings on the go. Chris has been around to my house, whatever, and
Live to tell the tale. Escaped the underground dungeon.
I have actually got a dungeon. That's not something I should probably mention now, but I've had the privilege of going around to Chris's house sporadically over the years, and I've seen actually personal artworks progress, and I can actually see that my favourite pieces of Chris's are the pieces that he's just done personally, and it's the pieces that he's had time to take to develop.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. It's amazing to see. You know, it's amazing. Well, no, it is, man.
Thank
for
you.
for a fellow artist, and you know, I think that a traditional artist as well. I come round, and even though you might spend only a short period on a certain painting, I come round, and I've seen you've progressed that painting.
Yeah.
And
I've got
for no
20
other
paintings on the go at the
well,
moment.
for no
so-
other reason that.
Maybe it's just me enjoying the process.
Yeah,
That's what it is, I guess.
And that is what is amazing to see.
I'm
So-
happy to let a painting sit for months and then I'll revisit it when I feel in the mood to. I like to work instinctively and when I'm inspired, so I'll start a new painting if my body tells me to do that, and then I'll return to those other ones when I feel it's time. So yeah, I often leave paintings around 70% done, but then I know the 30% I'll go back with extra vavavoom and get it finished that way with a renewed energy. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, I've got clients that have been waiting at least 2 years for me to finish paintings off, and I.
Maturing like stinking cheese, your paintings, aren't they?
So I think, in a nutshell, what myself and Chris are both saying is, do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
Listen, be yourself. There's room for you out there to be an individual as an artist. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, don't emulate other people.
Be inspired, but
Yeah.
take that inspiration and
Yeah.
do your own thing with it.
Take those techniques and
Yeah.
progress your own style, because
Because we're all doing the same techniques, we're just doing them our own way,
yeah,
and that's
so
what makes us all different.
just
So there's no right or wrong. There's just what feels good. The only right or wrong is what feels right to you,
Exactly.
and you'll discover the wrong as you go.
and we look forward to seeing your art.
We do.
Keep doing it, man.
Stay tuned. We're gonna go back in now and continue the debauchery and the painting.
of our videos.
Just a little pep talk from Chris and Noel. Let's get back into the lounge. Oh.
But he asked me to approach you about any originals that you've got, and I said, well, that look amazing, doesn't it?
Pretty dark.
The teeth and stuff.
Smile.
Dude, why have we got two models the same?
Oh, that's a long story. Oh man, she was so cool. We are rolling. So I've got a selection of colours, so I'm just going to do some colour washes. I think I'm going to start with the skin tones first and then go from there. So, wet my
Let's do
plate.
it.
I'm just going to wet my plate a little bit.
What, your palette?
Yeah, just enough to wet the beak. Pink flesh. So yeah, I'm just going to pick a couple of colours that I think I want in the skin tones. So, pink flesh.
Oh, mate. These pens on this canvas is amazing.
You don't, you draw on a canvas board, don't you?
Yeah, well, there you go, man.
Yeah, I like canvases because I don't. When it's framed, it feels like more like a real.
Well,
painting.
I normally paint on mountain board, so like 2 to 3 mil mountain board, which you would normally use for possibly mounting paintings. But I like the smooth texture,
Yeah.
and I'll add and if I need something a bit more rugged, I'll add that as and when is needed. You know, I like a rugged texture. I like a bit of I like sort of damaged goods.
Water. Keep things nice and moist. I like things nice and moist. Skin areas on the neck. It's just neck and the face, I think. Maybe a little bit on the arm down there. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. I think is it pistachio green? I think it is. A little bit brown. I'm just gonna
Nice, man.
do this.
Is that my plate?
It is your plate. Thanks, Noel. Yeah, just let the colours mix together, do their own thing. Put my rag. And yeah, a little bit darker in the recesses of where the cheeks would be. Let's get that green back in there. Like so. When did you start doing art then? Since when you were a kid?
What, me? Or are you talking to the camera?
You.
Well, for me it was always something I've always done. It wasn't a conscious choice. It was just,
Felt good.
I didn't. I mean, I'm just drawing a freehand circle there.
Like Michelangelo, isn't that how he got into art academy? But
That's
like,
really
where's your portfolio, Michelangelo? And he literally grabbed a piece of paper, took a
Perfect
pen, and went,
circle,
and they were just like, "You're in."
Yeah, I
Is
haven't.
that true?
I don't know, mate, because I didn't know him personally. But I haven't done that here. As you can see, my circle is completely just really rubbish.
That's good for freehand.
Well, I've had a few vodkas, as you know.
we're gonna that could bite us in the ass. We'll see.
But for me, in terms of art-wise, I've always done artwork. Actually, I didn't get on too well at school. I always felt like a bit of an outsider. The normal sort of day-to-day grind didn't really do it for me. Exactly. Yeah, it was for me. Art was a necessary escapism.
Yeah.
It was something I always enjoyed, and
Same.
it wasn't something I was necessarily encouraged.
I just got on with it. Like my parents, well, that's Chris. He's happy in the corner doing art. That's cool. We'll do what we're doing, kind of thing. But my parents encouraged it, but not to the point where like, Chris, you must get into art school. You must do this. You must do that.
No, I never had that pressure.
No,
but
it was more like, oh, that's a fun hobby, son. But you know, maybe you should start thinking about your future.
Yeah, but I mean, and that brings me on to the question is, I mean, I'm sure you've had it many times, and I've had it many times throughout my sort of art career. Oh, and you're so talented, but it's just like, well,
It's not talent. There's a little. I believe talent is a little bit of natural ability. There's natural ability, but then there's just hard work.
yeah, it's persistence.
No.
Yeah.
Let me rectify the situation.
Is that really a bigger deal? I don't think so.
I don't
think
know.
we can sort that out later.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm using this. I'm sorry, Chris. But amazing colours, man.
Yeah.
For me, it was art was wasn't a conscious choice. It was just something I did because I enjoyed. It was for me. It was escapism. I don't know why I found art so fascinating from an early age.
I loved it, just be able to like take a piece of paper and a pen and just create something.
Yeah.
The fact you can just make something and it almost felt real. Like when I'd watch, again, pre-internet, so saying I was for a film like Predator, I'd be like pausing the video constantly when he takes his mask off and just redrawing that face. And because obviously there wasn't computers and I couldn't have imagery like that, I could then have my own image of that.
All those things which are probably relevant to us now, they weren't even a consideration.
No.
It was just merely because we enjoyed doing it, wasn't it? I
It was
think.
the buzz of just creating something. And knowing at the end of the night I could go to bed and I'd have my own Predator drawing.
Yeah, and for me it was just like people were into different things. I was probably a bit of a social outcast. I used to just sit there in classes. It didn't matter what classes it was.
Yeah.
All I did was drawing. That was all that was important to me.
Yes.
I didn't care if it was French, English.
Always be doodling. Always be doodling.
Exactly. And the teachers would say to me, "Oh, you know, you really need to be doing this and that," but I didn't care. I didn't know that it wasn't important at that age. I just knew that I just want to do art, so I want to do art. You know, so I was quite fortunate to have the confidence to be so defiant
It was disgusting. I remember, I was not disgusting, there was nothing wrong with his career choice at all, but considering where my passion is when we were in school class and the teacher said, oh, what does everyone want to do when they grow up? Or what do you want to be used to? I said fireman, because that's what everyone else was saying. And I
that
thought
is disgusting. I mean, fireman's a great career choice,
but if it was, I didn't want to say, oh, an artist, because they'd be like, what? Literally, but I remember thinking that it was going around the class, I was like, oh, I can't say an artist, so I said, oh, I want to be a fireman. And everyone was like, okay, next, Ben, what do you want to be? And I was just like, why did I say that?
But it's
not that there's anything wrong with being a fireman whatsoever.
No, of course, but
yeah,
art isn't encouraged. I mean, it's getting better, but even to this day, like it's not just about art. It's about literature, writing, anything creative. It's seen as like a.
Just gonna change the camera angle.
Yeah, a derogatory career choice. But for me, that wasn't even a factor. It was just like, I like to do artwork, and that's it. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to go in with a few other colours. It's still wet, but all I'm going to do is just get a few variations in tone going through. What I might do then is sharpen these details up with like a pen. That's what I like to do, is go in with the colour washes, tighten things up with a pen, and then finish stuff off with paint on top. We could actually do a competition
in regards to
the name of the piece.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
We could do like a little thing, and then you could win a free print.
Exactly. What the best sort of choice of name of the piece?
Well, yes, we'll have name. When we post it, we'll do a thing on Instagram or wherever, and be like, oh, name the piece, and you can win the print.
Which encapsulates both our sort of styles and. Yeah, sounds great, man.
Almost ready for another rum and coke. I want to keep the skin. I want the skin to look like rotting
flesh, man.
Yeah. So actually, has he got finger? Yeah, he's got fingers. Can I squeeze in here?
Do as you please, man. I'll work up here then.
It's actually nice working like this. I feel a lot more
liberated.
Yeah, like the chains are off a lot more. I feel I'm working a lot more instinctively.
Definitely. I think having restrictions into how you work can be beneficial, you know? I mean, I'm working a lot more quicker than I normally would.
So I've got 4 different colours there, and while the paint's wet, I can just slap on the colour and just blend it, and what that's going to do is give me a variety of different colour tones, which I can simply fashion into details, creases, folds, and things like that with skin. So here, I can literally see where the paint's mingled, and it's just a case of me choosing where I want to fashion those mingles into folds or skin textures and things like that. This is just a quick way to get the basic pre-visualization down, and then I can just tweak it as I go. So I'll add a few more things here, maybe a bit of colours that. It's like a yellow, it's like a cream colour, maybe on his cheek, like so. And the highlights of the eyebrow, on the head, like so. So what I'm going to try and do is paint over my outline as well, because I don't want that looking obvious. It's weird that, like, when I used to draw stuff, I'd always draw an outline, but an outline is the thing you don't want to have, because as soon as you have an outline or something, then it takes away any realism, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, you don't want. Actually, that was a lesson I learnt very early on from someone that was very established in the art world. My art was very bold, you know, very sort of bold use of colour, but what took away from that was my heavy use of black outlines around everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, around, like you say, the around the eyes and stuff, around the eyebrows, I used to have these heavy black lines, and all it did was just make it look cartoony.
Yeah, it makes it look comic art.
Yeah, and it was, I might be adding sort of black lines to the initial drawing, but a lot of these won't be black in the finished result. They're, you know, this is purely just a guide for me as to know where to paint.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff won't be so obvious, but yeah, it's about and it's something that took me a good few years to appreciate, and it was only through experience that I was like, well, you know, if I do a black line here or whatever, it looks really dynamic and whatever, but looking back, it was just...
I mean, nothing in reality has a black line around it, does it?
Exactly. Well, not many
but what
things.
can look really cool is when you used to do it like a red outline or a brown one.
It's like you did, isn't it? A brown outline for...
Yeah,
some
because I knew
details
that the
and
black
stuff.
shining through that wouldn't have worked. At least it will sort of blend into the skin tones.
I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm like doing a cyborg or a humanoid, I wouldn't be using such stark black lines.
Yeah.
It would be a lot more subtle.
Yeah, if you're drawing, say, a woman,
Yeah.
it's
face.
a different approach.
Yeah,
altogether,
it's
isn't
because this is so... Because I want it to look mechanical. I want it to look human, but it needs to be artificial.
Yeah.
So I can get away with having these, you know, all these strong black lines, but in regards to yours, that's why you've got the brown lines, isn't it?
Yeah.
To make it a lot more subtle.
Yeah, the mecha parts can be black because I need to have those semi-obvious.
And it's not the first time sort of we've worked together and you've had a semi, is it, Chris?
Noel's got a little bit of pink eye going on. Has the drink hindered us or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has, doesn't it? But this will look really cool when it's done. Really cool.
I don't even know where I am.
You're in my lounge. Noel often sort of wakes up drunk in weird men's houses.
It's not necessarily true.
I met Noel at Grinder. Oh, I can't believe it. I was just holding the camera for like 10 minutes. I wasn't recording. Oh, so easily done. Why did I do that? Noel's a little bit burnt out. I think he's drunk a little bit too much, guys. You okay? Actually, show everyone your eyes, because they're a beautiful shade of pink. Look up. Go on. There you are.
I'm fine, actually.
Slow and steady wins the race, Noel.
Chris, I'm like demolished that in like 10 minutes when I'm sober in the morning.
I'll make you a nice coffee tomorrow.
Yeah, and
Maybe we'll go for another cooked breakfast, maybe.
progression. Oh, mate.
It has to be done, doesn't it?
I'll get some progress done on that.
Knees all sore from the carpet burn. We suffer for our craft. But yeah, so what have we got going on? What have we achieved? We've got some basic colour ideas down. Noel's got his basic outline. Actually, you're pretty much there. Don't drink, kids.
I've been up since like 4 o'clock, Chris.
You have an excuse. What time is it now? Time is... What kind of phone is this? Oh, so yeah, it's pretty late, I guess. I've only had like 4 hours sleep as well, so. But yeah, tomorrow, we'll get some serious groundwork done, won't we?
Listen, I'm really hyped for tomorrow.
Okay, so we've reached the end of the evening. We didn't quite make the progress we hoped to, but we're on our way. And tomorrow, when we wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we'll make some good progress tomorrow. I want to get mine at 50% tomorrow, minimum.
What, 50% done?
Yeah. Is that possible?
I don't know, is it? Before I go home tomorrow, I would have inked
The majority.
out
You know-
with some washes.
Alright, Noel's tired, I'm tired. It's like 1:30 probably now. So we will be back in the next few seconds.
Really?
In an edited video sense, we'll be back very soon.
Well, yeah,
with
tomorrow.
some full force, focused art. We go out tomorrow, have a nice coffee, have a
Tomorrow.
nice breakfast, and then we'll get busy. And
Tomorrow, we haven't got much art done today, but we're both extremely tired. But tomorrow, we're
It's
gonna get.
art day. I've set the foundation. Tomorrow I'll build the building.
I look forward to tomorrow.
We'll see you guys very shortly in the next section of our collaboration extravaganza. Thank you for watching. Beastly, beastly boy! I just wanted to say good night, Noel.
Good night, buddy.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Have a
Nice and
good
comfy
night.
there. Sure you're comfortable enough.
I'm amazing.
It's
Actually, I was already falling asleep.
It's a glass of water for you there by the
I know,
gate.
you left it.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, bro.
Sweet dreams, Noel.
Night, night, Chris.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Morning.
Oh,
Hello, mate, you right?
someone's up bright and early, catching the early worm.
Well, I just wanted to just get a bit more of this done. It's pretty sloppy from last night, to be
You
fair.
can see it's a bit dark in here. No likes to dwell in the darkness. There we are. Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, fine.
Mate, you snored so loud at the
Did I?
beginning. Yeah, I think it's because you were on your back, like on the couch.
What's that?
It's like a foghorn. Yeah, it was
Oh.
like I thought you were screaming. I thought I heard this loud scream. I was like, "Oof, is Noel alright?" And then it dawned on me it was just you snoring.
It's because I've been drinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love a coffee, man.
I'll get the coffee maker on the go.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
2 men and a baby. Starting the day with a nice cooked breakfast. Noel's obviously got himself a pint because he's clearly got issues. Hopefully a more productive day today than yesterday was. Don't film that. I do. It's like yesterday all over again, buying mixers for our... We can't draw without being drunk, can we? Just bought baby Kyra a nice little wooden toy as well. Because it looks like Noel.
What are you doing? No.
Let's have a little look at how Noel's getting on in the lounge.
Hey, dude, I'm just pretty much finished now.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh man, I've done loads.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that line work.
Well, I'm just sort of cleaning up quite a bit from last night as well. Where we were a little bit drunk.
We were. It's amazing you've done more like in the last half hour than you did the whole yesterday.
Teas, coffees, refreshments, sandwiches, hot snacks, teas, coffees, refreshments.
I decided we're not going to go outside. We're going to set up a larger table with a flap on it, so that Noel can sit on the flap, and we'll have a bit more space, and hopefully get the camera at some better angles. And yeah.
What tables? You're going to set it up in here?
No, we'll set it up in the lounge.
Oh.
Liquids, drinks, refreshments, wooden toys, cuddly toys.
It's alright, mate.
Just thinking about stuff, Noel. Just thinking about art, stuff in general, really. Thinking about you.
I normally got my plate on the right hand side.
Yeah, this isn't how I'd normally paint.
I know what colour I need, sorry.
Oh, do you?
One sec.
Hey guys, so we have set up in this position. Noel's got his outlines done. I'm going to continue with what I was doing last night. But yeah, what we'll do, we'll change the camera angle as we go. Table's a little bit wonky, so time lapse might be a bit goofy looking if we speed anything up. Okay. Right. I think my carry on the washes.
This is amazing, this cat tree for holding all my art supplies and that.
Yeah, that's one of the best things I happened upon.
I'm off.
He's off. What? Well, that's an interesting technique.
What? That's what I always do. Just cover everything, yeah.
That thick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do quite thin washes. It's so interesting seeing another person work.
Yeah, but that will all dry, that will all come through. That's why my the underlines, that's really heavy. That's why I do it heavy.
Yeah.
Just so I can just go really thick with the, and I also do it this thick as well because if I water down acrylics too much, it just, all the ink just, that's all the details gone, isn't it? So, but yeah, that's how thick I do mine, man. And really quickly get some
Instinctive, intuitive. What colour is this? This is Folkestone. Yeah, you should try these things. You give them a go.
Yeah, I've never
might
really,
like them.
I haven't.
They're very vibrant.
Yeah, I've always just stuck with paint, to be honest. I've never really delved much into inks. I mean, what are the plus points of using inks?
It's just a nice consistency to paint with. But usually I have a base of acrylic to go with. I don't know. I use them for colour washes. You stay away, my friend. You stay away. Straight from mine.
That's all right. I'm not even going anywhere near it.
I know. I
You're hanging.
I jest.
Browning with the greys.
What do I change the angle?
Oops, I did go over your finger a little bit, mate. Sorry. Does it matter if we get paint over this table?
Not too much.
Have you got any spray paints?
I've got a few.
Have you got red?
I've got like a fluorescent red. Right, let's get some blues on the go.
I'll clean the table afterwards, mate.
That's cool.
Because it's working quickly. Oh yeah, they are vibrant, aren't they?
Yeah.
I suppose they're already watered down, are they?
Yeah, nice. It's just like runny, but they're thick, so you've got a nice vibrancy with everything. I wanted to have some blue accents in certain areas. Maybe this bit can be a bit of blue.
It's funny. This is I've discussed this with people a few times. The initial stages of starting the painting, it's all so exciting, isn't it? And it's just really loose and just chuck loads of colour on. You're not too worried about how being too precious over things.
Then the refining starts, and then it's like it's like warming up and then having to work out, isn't it? A bit of pink with this blue. So you'll just like pick out.
I'm deliberately just trying to stress you out. I noticed you used some brown for your outlines and stuff. That's quite a good idea. I never tried that
just
before.
instead of the black, I try to avoid using black if I can. I'll only use black in areas where the black would be probably visible in the actual painting.
Well, this is all machine,
Yeah.
so it can be sort of nice and hard and.
So at the moment I'm just working pretty instinctively and just adding little areas of colour where I think I want things to be. No set idea of how I want this to look yet colour-wise, but something along these lines, I think.
You're going with quite a fine brush pretty early on then.
Yeah, but it's a brush with a bad sort of nib, so it's quite frayed and it's quite
Haphazard sanity.
Exactly. Metal, music and mayhem. Hopefully this video will be edited and uploaded in time for us to do part 2, where we'll be finishing this painting at the NICE convention in Bedford on September, is it the 1st and 2nd?
1st and 2nd, yeah.
So yeah, so if you see this and you want to come and meet us and actually watch us working on this, then come to Bedford. Is it the Corn Exchange?
The Corn Exchange, yeah, right in the centre of Bedford. Pretty easy to find. It's nice venue.
Yeah, some amazing artists will be there.
Yeah, sort of
Some of our big influences.
Yeah, our biggest art influences, but as an actual convention, it's just a really friendly sort of place. It's run by some great people. Close Encounters, they've got a couple of shops. Those guys run the convention.
Sort of Forbidden Planet type stores.
Yeah, and it's just really nice. Just a really nice environment.
Yeah. It's different to the usual. You know, you can feel very relaxed and everyone's very approachable. And everyone there seems to be like a friend. So there's a good rapport whenever all the artists get together, get drunk, have some good fun. And we've had some fun times, haven't we? Jeez.
Yeah, some interesting times at times. Actually, this colour's working nice with the brown.
Oh, yeah.
I'll add some more brown. But that's what I like to do. I mean, I'm not too precious about the finer detail. I just really go as quick as I can in the initial stages, just to get colour in. As you can see, using that pen, the acrylic sort of black pen as an undercoat rather than a pencil underdrawing means I can just be a bit more experimental, and I still have all the details shining through, which is cool because I don't want to have to keep going over all the details constantly because it's very time consuming.
So I'd rather do a loose concept drawing or a loose preliminary drawing. That way I don't feel like I'm constantly redrawing the same thing over and over. I'd rather essentially draw over everything at the very end just to type it in when I'm typing stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Where's my brown gone?
I used to, it's funny, when I first started painting, if I felt I made mistakes or things hadn't gone how I hoped they would, I would actually give up on the painting and do another one totally from scratch, which was completely mental because it's just, you just got this stack of unfinished paintings. I mean, just like I did there, I put the paint on this bit here, it was too heavy. So I just wipe it off your finger. It's acrylic paint. It dries pretty quick, but that doesn't mean there's not time to work with it.
Yeah. I'm not precious about anything anymore. I'll like spend a day on something and then I realise it's not right, and then I'll just paint over the whole thing. Yeah, because it will just bug me if I don't. Yeah, you know, I'll end up working on something that I just have no interest in finishing. It's funny. I'll finish it, I'll just end up in a drawer. I just won't even want to look at it.
It's funny, isn't it, though, the things that we thought were, or might have perceived as mistakes when we were first starting out painting, was probably, you know, quite a few years ago for both of us, but actually relishing that stuff now. It's kind of like I actively look for those things just to add some randomness to what I'm doing.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I just see it as part of the journey. So there's constant things like, oh, that doesn't look good, but I'll get back to that bit and I'll make that work. Because you have to, if you're willing to invest a lot of time in something, you have to get it. You've got to be happy with it. Like, very rarely do I do something I genuinely don't like. I mean, after I finish the painting, I tend to go off them quite quickly. Like, I lose interest. I'm like, oh, the energy's no longer there now.
I don't want it to look so clean. I spent so many years going for this polished look to painting. You know, no mistakes and whoops. And like, there you go. I mean, that's ironic, isn't it? But I've got paint over there, and I just smudge it about a bit, and that's all good. And look, and that's actually a little bit more colour in there now.
Happy accidents.
And but yeah, it's I just embraced how, you know, just work with the paint now. Would you do sort of colour prelims before you? No, because I've never done that either.
No, it seems like a waste of time.
I'd just like to just see, you know. Yeah, I don't even know how this paint is going to turn out.
Exactly the same. I'd rather that way. I mean, I can see the benefit in doing that, especially if you're doing maybe a client piece and you have to make sure everything's right. But you know, maybe now and again, I've done it in a few videos. I'll take this sketch, maybe, and I'll just do a really, really rough Photoshop colour over, just to get a rough idea of what might work. But it totally depends on what I'm doing. I'd maybe do that more if I was doing a big environment piece and there was like a background involved and I wanted to, you know, think how the sort of balance of things. Yeah. There's some greys going on up here on his, what are these bits called? Pistons.
I use this colour a lot, actually. This, I think it's called, what is it? System 3 Wedgwood. I don't know what it is. It's like, it's kind of like a bluey sort of grey, but it's just, I use it as kind of like a base. It's just really nice colour.
Yeah. I'm working on the rust of his jaw now. So I'm going to have
few areas which are like corroded. Maybe I'll do some oxidization, maybe that copper effect, like the
God,
Predator.
you're like a scientist.
Oh, you know. This droid has seen some things. I've seen things you wouldn't believe.
It's nice to be doing some painting.
Yeah. Alright. If you hear some weird squeaky noises and grunting and groaning, it's not Noel. It's the baby.
I'm not sleeping.
I've never heard snoring quite like it.
Listen.
Admittedly, you were on your back and you've been drinking.
Yeah.
But I heard screaming. And I thought Noel was... It was just Noel snoring. I heard like this like... sound, and I was listening outside the door thinking what the heck's going on in there, but yeah, it's just Noel snoring.
Yeah, just...
So, what are you doing there, Noel? It's a bit black.
Yeah, I'm just... this is what I tend to do. I just like to, once I've got the basis of the colours in, I don't always put a bold black background in, but because the idea with this piece is to go from dark to light, Chris is,
Yeah,
you can almost see, I mean, it will work really well. I just want to get the black in, just to make it easier for myself.
Just
to
clean
see,
outline to...
just to see what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare for you, Chris, to cover over all that black in a lighter colour, but it's not my problem, is it? So,
So maybe I'll have a black background. Or maybe if I can find a way to cover it, I'll just go white all over yours. There's still room for me to cut this down anyway. I can still cut Noel off.
I mean, straight away, even just putting that little bit of black in,
Yeah.
it's just made it a lot easier for myself, just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it does get a little bit confusing.
Especially with all his lines. So what I'm doing here, I've got a nice grey colour here. What is it, like a gunmetal grey? And
What,
I am...
that Wedgwood.
Or Wedgwood.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cheese. I'm going to start maybe doing some metal up here. Maybe I'll fit it down a bit, and I'm just going to go in, start adding some shades of greys and build up the layers. I started fleshing out a few little details and textures on the sort of rusted metal jaw. So yeah. You get away from me! Oh, no. Honestly.
I tend to work pretty much for the best part of the time with square brushes these days. I just really enjoy them. I like to see, as you can see, I'll do the fine tuning with smaller brushes, but I get the bulk of the work in now just with square brushes, just because it makes it, you've got a nice clean line when you want to, but you can also cover quite a great surface area.
I was not impressed.
I tend to use... I mix it all up. I just grab whatever's to hand, really. Very little thought goes into what I grab. If I'm like, I need a small brush to do some detail, I'll just grab the first small brush I can find. And it's pretty
Working
much it.
together and talking about things like this, do you think you'll learn off each other?
Well, it's very interesting.
Not really?
Probably not. I mean,
No, actually, yeah.
Well,
Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
I don't know. I can't remember what I was even talking about. But no, it's interesting to see. I mean, we were essentially doing similar techniques, but Noels is a bit more. I guess you've been a bit more aggressive with your underbase, haven't you, than I? What are you doing? Have I got to paint over this with white? Have I got to like try and paint over all this black? That ain't gonna work. Oh
It's
no!
acrylics, man. It covers anything.
Well, I don't know. White going. over
Check this out. Check this out.
White going over black is a little bit problematic.
Well, yeah, but it just takes a bit of work. But
Yeah.
it will look cool, won't it?
Okay.
Check this out, Chris. Just with a rigger brush, I just go in there, cut straight into your nail. Look at
Beautiful.
that. Nice,
It's
eh?
poppy now. Oh, actually, well, that could fade out as long as it doesn't go. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I won't go any further anyway. I don't want to encroach on your side.
We'll just encroach. What a word! I love it. Cockroach.
Well, Ben, we have learnt something today, haven't we? I've expanded Chris's vocabulary.
to the word encroach. But hopefully, you watching this are going to be seeing techniques firsthand. That this is our subconscious way of working, isn't it? So this is very primal, very very natural.
Yeah, and obviously it's our first collaboration piece together.
Yeah.
But like you say, in regards to learning different stuff, and I've been a fan of Chris's work for many years.
Really.
No, I have. You know that, Chris. We discussed this last night when the cameras weren't rolling.
It got really awkward. I was like, no, chill out. It's a bit much. You make me feel uneasy now.
But it's really, for me, it's nice to see. I'll know as an artist with a certain level of experience, how Chris will, in a roundabout way, achieve the results that he's got. You think you know how an artist will work, but the reality of it is you don't. It's I might think of, oh, Chris will approach that painting that way and he'll do this and that and whatever, but now I've seen him actually work. It's not how I thought at all.
You basically lost all respect from him, haven't you?
Yeah. No, I've gained some insight into your.
The feeling's mutual, my friend.
I've gained some insight into your work, but just your use of mixed media is very interesting. I mean straight away. I mean this bit. I mean, out of all the stuff you've done, this arm, just the colours in there and the way you've mixed media and pens, and you know you've just attacked it with like paint and liquid acrylics and all the rest of it. That's not ever how I would approach something.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I would normally just build up in layers. So my work, as you can see, predominantly this colour, grey or whatever, you can see my palette, and then I will build up in layers. So my artwork doesn't generally come together. Will you be quiet over there? Come on.
We're being heckled. She just wasn't. She's been naughty. Cheeky little monkey.
But it's yeah. So it's
good as a girl.
So we are. I think we are both learning. We are.
Yeah, both learning from each other in different ways.
Exactly.
Good.
For bells. Oh, nice little sunset. So we'll go back in now and we'll hardcore nights painting, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll try and talk about some interesting stuff we want to cover. Maybe we'll talk about our inspirations and a few little things which might, you know, be interesting for you guys to hear as we're doing what we do.
Or just utter nonsense. It's all good.
Pretty much, yeah. Our speciality.
Oh yeah. So Jess has just made homemade pizzas for Noel and I herself.
One needs to go in.
So this kind of hospitality when it comes to the price, my friend. It's amazing. That looks so
Pizza
good.
Fridays.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, Jess. Noel's not going home. He's staying. Well, what can I say? A bit of alfresco dining. And then this will fuel us for a long night's drawing, I guess, won't it?
Long night's drawing.
Yeah.
It's really tasty. Amazing. Thanks, Jess.
It's really quite proper tasty. It's delicious. Oh.
Top loud.
You give your mouth closed, Noel.
Why do you keep making out I'm a northerner, Chris? If anything, I'm more Cockney. I'm way more Cockney than you are.
It's a laugh a minute here at Chateau Lovell. What are you doing? I don't have to be going through this footage with a fine tooth comb. This will be able to upload it. So, where are we at? We've, well, I can't remember. We were last filming this morning or this afternoon, wasn't it? So we've been doing a little bit off camera. We were live on Instagram for about the last hour. So we've done a little bit of work while we were live on Instagram. Yeah, so I'll bring you up to speed where we're at shortly. I'll bring the camera around. So yeah, Noel, you've made some good progress.
I wanted there to be some red sort of light coming in because, as I mentioned before, this is going to be darker this side going into light because Chris is a lot more angelic than I am. Red is not going to cover what I've painted particularly well, so what I'm going to do is I'm adding all these white highlights. They won't stay white, and then I'm going to put a red wash over the top. So that should work out quite well.
Sounds good, Noel. Yeah, real good. It's still very loose at the moment, but I'm starting to tighten up some of the body armour and just tidy up some of the lines and give things a bit more of a smooth look. And start adding a few colours and textures for a look. I think I might start doing his skin and focus on that.
Is it he?
I'm going to that's debatable. Could be a lady. You tell me. I like interpretation. Do you think actually maybe it looks a bit feminine, isn't it? In a weird way. Old lady maybe. It could be. Oh, shut up, no. Shut up. Tipple here. Yeah, I'll bring the camera around so we'll show you guys where we're at, and then we'll talk about this. pace yourself now, don't you? Clapping and snoring and scaring me again. Right, let's grab the camera, show you guys where we're at. Can you do that? I can do the Predator sound effect from Predator.
Do it again.
Just clear my throat. I don't know anyone else who can do that. There's like 1 or 2 people on YouTube who I've seen who can do it. But I remember doing it in school. I was just in class. And
So you've done that noise and you've thought about it and you thought, I wonder if there's anyone else online.
I googled it to see if because I don't know. I've never known any friends who can do it. But it's the dangly bit at the back of your throat. I can sort of isolate that, and I guess it's going like that.
I wouldn't wish down a broke big dog.
Jetting squirty major. Let's have a look. No, if you move your hoof. Making some good progress here.
Oh, just doing some highlights, man.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, so I've been doing some of the body armour here. I work on like the colours and the shades, but I'm just toying with layers at the moment, and you know, a lot of this might be painted over, but I kind of like some of the colour tones got going on here. I've got a bit of pink, some lilac, and stuff like that. But I think I'll start doing some work on the skin now and get loads of textures going on here. Get it looking like a green, shiny, sort of leathery skin, and then I'll start doing some of the metal stuff up here. And yeah, it's just a case of just chipping away at it and then fashioning it into a desirable looking image. Yeah, the jaw, I'm going to really go to town now, doing all the little chips and divots and things like that in the jaw. It's looking good, Noel.
Thanks, man.
You're looking good too, my friend.
Thank you.
The footage I'm filming now is upside down, but I could potentially flip it round when I edit the video, so maybe that might look quite cool. And it's nice not to have the camera in our faces.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to wipe myself on this t-shirt.
What is that?
This is what normally wear this. Oh, it's done now, isn't it? It's ruined.
Is that acrylic? Yeah, it's hard to get acrylic out, isn't it? He's a clumsy boy, this Noel. He's a liability.
Oh, well, I've worn this t-shirt to death anyway.
Noel's by the window vaping. I'm using some brush pens now. I'm just going to go in and pick out some details. I could do this with a brush and paint, but I've got quite a few different colours here with these pens, so it's a quick way just to start getting little areas of colour down. Some of these are very light as well, so you can kind of get some very subtle colour tones. You know when you're doing like skin and stuff, you always find like the more mixes of colours you've got going on there, the better things look. Because you can just like, just hint at, yeah, like pinks and greens and skin.
I'll tell you what I find works really well with skin tones is adding some blue in there.
Yeah.
You know, because I'll pretty much use a factory or standard sort of skin tone and add sort of orange or brown to that. But when you start adding a bit of blue, yeah, it just looks a lot more
real.
Real.
A lot of portrait artists start with like a green underbase on the face, like Incredible Hulk, and then they start layering on the pinks of different opacities, and the green sort of just gives you the realism. It's very interesting. Look, I'm doing a shadow line here, just underneath the piping. Actually, I might do the shadows a different colour. Oh, I don't know. We shall see. I'm not going to think about shadows at the moment. That can come later. What's that? Wet? Wet? Was that a wet fart or you... Oh, thank God it was Noel squirting fluids into the plate.
It's alright. Oh, look at that. Nice.
You're slapping you on, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming together, lovely. So you're then going to go over this then and with a pen and then just tighten it all up?
Well, paint, probably paintbrush.
Yeah.
I might use some pens because I wouldn't normally use pens in pieces, but I've been inspired by watching you work, Chris.
Yeah, I know pens just, it's not, it doesn't really feel like I guess it's a shortcut. It doesn't feel like it's cheapening the painting at all. It's just
Whatever works, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it was a part of me a while back. I'd be like, oh, I feel a bit weird using pens, but it's all the same stuff. It's just mark making techniques, isn't it?
Just a means to an end, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's do a little bit of work on his skin up here, I think.
Yeah.
Get some of these folds going on.
It's nice getting a bit of colour in there now, the red.
Yeah, I'll start popping, get those angles.
Well, they really pop, eh?
Me and Noel we were talking on Instagram about how similar our interests are, and how we're pretty much from the same school of inspiration, aren't we? We pretty much grew up loving the same things, didn't we?
We did, Chris.
Exactly the same eras in alternate realities, destined to meet each other. I'd met you at that convention, then we had a Facebook convo and started talking about like stuff. I was like, oh man, who's this scary guy? Stop sending me his nudes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll chat to him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's actually right. And then we were talking about Cyber City, the manga, and you were like, oh, and I was about to say, there's an image in that cartoon that was hugely inspirational. And you started saying it before I was about to say it, and it was exactly the same. It's like, it's one shot which I'll splice in here. Was it Hamachi?
Yeah.
And it's just an image that obviously we probably saw around about the same time back in the 90s, which
Well, 94 it would have been when that came out.
Stayed with us. Yeah,
But it's
definitely.
funny, out of all the things, I mean, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
But so I guess it's because similar sort of age or whatever, and similar, no internet, so whatever sort of material you had available or what you could watch was probably limited.
Yeah.
So I think that, but that's kind of cool in a way.
Another image that was hugely, massively inspiring to me was from Fistful of Star. I'll splice it in here as well if I can find it. And it's one of the opening scenes in the movie when it's showing the post-apocalyptic future, and it's just different beautiful paintings of the city from different angles.
Yeah.
And it pans up and it's this sound. And there's a huge skyscraper all sandy and ruined with a boat through it. At the top. So there's this massive oil boat, I think it was an oil tanker, speared through the top of this skyscraper. I remember looking at that and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That image captured so much about what the world was like for that cartoon. It was incredible.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's people say, cartoons when I was a kid they were so much better and all the rest of it, but it wasn't. There's obviously the nostalgia in there, which makes you feel a certain way.
Rose tinted goggles.
Yeah, but in a certain sense, it's kind of like a lot of those cartoons from the 80s. They were made by Japanese animation houses,
Yeah.
so that's why they're sort of anime looking.
Ulysses.
Yeah, Ulysses, Jason Wheeled Warriors,
Yeah.
Thundercats. They're all done by sort of Japanese American animation companies.
Yeah.
So that's, you look at the action sequences.
Yeah, very dynamic.
Yeah, amazing.
Thunder cats. Oh, look at that. Looking lovely. So again, you see you've got your red light source coming from below. Oh, what colour are you going to give me? Because I could maybe, if there's a bit of a glow, I could maybe hint at that.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or maybe reflect some of the colours in his eye.
And I was thinking as well, we could have, because your side's going to be lighter, you could almost even have a light source come from this way,
Yeah,
and then
capture.
cast a shadow over this from the hands and stuff. That'd look cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Something.
I don't know about the eye. I haven't really given it that much thought, to be honest.
Touch, isn't it? Well, that's the stuff we can do at the Nice Convention. We're going to upload this video in 2 parts, so you're going to see the first part, which you're watching now, and we'll get to a certain point by tomorrow. Then Noel's going to go home, and I'll be seeing Noel next on, is it the
First and second, isn't
first and second? So we're going to be in Bedford for the Nice Convention. Weird thing, why do they call it Nice?
Northampton International Comic Expo.
Oh, makes sense now. For 2 days, we'll have our table, we'll have our bits and bobs set up there, we'll be selling prints, and we'll be doing some live painting, finishing this off. So if you want to come down, meet us, and chat with us, hang out, drink, laugh, be merry, flirt a little. Noel likes a bit of a flirt. Some of the best comic artists you'll ever see will be there. It's at the cream of the comic industry. And me and Noel, for some reason, do some sketching, do some drawing, have a laugh with some like-minded people. It's nice to go there now with her and be. I've always wanted to be someone.
I always felt I was meant for something more than this, Chris.
Right. Just before I show you quickly what I'm doing here, while Noel has a little break behind that light. I'm working on the jaw at the moment. I want to give it that sort of rusted copper look. So I want to get that greeny blue, like oxidized effect you get on like old pennies and coins. So I've mixed a little bit of this sort of aqua blue colour ink with a bit of this pale olive green acrylic. Got it down here. And I'm just going to dot it around certain areas, like so. Maybe layer it up a little bit, but it should look quite cool, give a nice little effect. Maybe around the gaps, sort of the areas these things will collect. When I do this, or picture this, I instantly think of the Predator 2 biomask, because that had those sort of oxidized copper type effects on them. Yeah, I might bring this into quite a few other areas, like on the helmet and stuff like that. So once I've built this up, and a few more layers, get a bit more of a green, I think, for highlights. And add a few dots along here. I'm quite peckish now, Noel. What have we got to eat? Yeah, I'll have to raid the cupboard, see if we can find some food within that. Do you want some more rum, Noel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, help yourself.
I'm just looking for my pencil case.
Oh dear. Dude, I know what's going to happen. As soon as you start fleshing out those lines and bringing those lines in, it's going to suddenly just like transform
That's why I'm looking
completely.
for my pen. In keeping with Chris's style, I'm going to use a pen that I used to initially do the line work and bring all that back again.
And so, Noel is now adding some black lines to the various sections to flesh them out, make them pop. Is that another? So what are you using, what pen are you using there? Uni Posca?
Yeah, so normally I'd use a paintbrush, but let's try out these pens. I haven't really used them much since I bought them.
So I'm using some, these are Spectrum Noir pens, very inexpensive. You get a pack of these for like £5, and you get like a pack of like 7 pens, double dual-edged tips. They're brilliant. And what I do then, I'm just using certain shades just to go over the acrylic, and I'm just going to be adding folds and creases to the skin now with these pens, which I'll then go back over with paints. I want to make it look like the skin is stretched over this metal plate, so I'm going to add a bit of an indentation there to make it look like a lip with skin. Add some shadows and things like that. It's about 2 AM now, but we're still going strong. That is young. In between certain sections we're listening to music, which is lovely, but the bits where we're talking we can't listen to music because of YouTube will flag the video, and well, sometimes you can have the actual audio just stripped from your video, which is annoying. Thinking back to your childhood, what image do you remember being a kid and drawing a certain thing, which like your family or friends, or was there a certain image that made you think, oh, I've got something here?
I remember really early on, I remember drawing a picture, and it was of just two, like just a very childlike picture. I don't know how old I was, maybe like about 5 or something.
Yeah.
And I just drew two guys and sword fighting, but it's so much blood in it. It was just, I mean, it's quite worrying. It just like,
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, my mum being really worried, like this isn't normal for someone this age to be drawing something so graphic.
Yeah, maybe about 7 years old. I made like a wooden castle, lollipop sticks and cardboard, and I got your Lego men, and which I decorated the castle with, and then I just started like breaking the Lego men apart and just putting red paint everywhere. I made it look like a massacre. And I always remember my headmaster literally was like screaming at me, going, "What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" And I was like,
what was wrong with you?
I thought it was funny. Like my mates all laugh at it, so I look at it. It's like there's been a battle, but he was like really angry. "What's wrong with you? Why would you do that?" I was like, "It was funny." We used to get flick pads. There was this my friend Tom. He lived next door to this guy who worked for a company called Zocker, and Zocker they'd sell or they'd make from their factory pens and flick pads, stationery stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy was called Bernard, and we'd basically dress in black. We were like 10, 11, 12. And we'd climb over his fence, run into his field and raid his barn to steal these pens and flick pads. And we'd always get caught. He'd hear us, floodlights would go on, he'd be like, "What are you doing?" We'd be running back across the fields. But we'd have armfuls of these flick pads. I'd just do, or just spend hours just drawing these different things. And there'd always be people going through minces or walking along and a saw chopping off their heads, like stick men just like being crushed.
Sick.
I just love it. It's so much fun. The good old days.
Obviously, used to do a lot of artwork when I was a kid, and then probably in my 20s, I didn't do any artwork at all
Yeah,
for quite a few years.
I was so into music like that.
Yeah, or I was just drinking, going out drinking, working, and all the rest of it. And then I thought I want to get back into my artwork again, so I just do like an ink drawing, but I literally only a couple of bits of artwork a year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I think 2007 or 8 that I started to pick up, because I did a bit of painting when I was younger, and it wasn't till then that I started sort of painting again, really.
Yeah.
So
it was crazy. I was the same. I left art college. I was so demoralised with how rubbish it was, but it just put me off painting. I was like, I get more of a excitement and happiness out of making music, and that's just what I did. I still do a little bit of art here and there on the side, but I just wanted to be in a band and make music. But then, you know, you move out of home and suddenly you have to get like some horrible 9-to-5 jobs just to pay the bills, and then suddenly art's something you just haven't got the time to physically do. Be so frustrated, like because of the jobs I was working and how much I always felt like I was cursed. But you know, the problem was, it's like I felt I was doing enough, like I was being denied this, but the thing is I wasn't trying hard enough. But I didn't know where or how to try back then. I mean, this was like pre-internet, you know, so it was very hard to even know what jobs there were. You look for the paper, oh, that sounds art related, but it never was. I wanted a creative type to join a dynamic team, or maybe they want me to be imaginative. It's like, no, we want you to go around doors and try and sell people gas. That's a long story. I've worked some hideous jobs in my time, but it's all life experience. It's all good.
I'm quite, I don't know, methodical with how I approach art, really. Mechanical almost. I don't know, maybe that's why I'm suited to drawing what I'm drawing.
Yeah, I'm very subconscious. It's kind of like when you're driving and you just switch off and you're like, how often I crashed because I don't even remember driving the last 20 miles. Yeah, you're just so like relaxed or chilled. Where'd you get those from?
Oh, a shop.
Okay.
It's funny because normally I'll turn this around and into, so it's
I'm
easier.
sorry.
But obviously, oh no, it's cool.
No, anyway, if you want to change it to a different angle, I'll just
No,
work
but
in a
you
different
know what?
section.
It's not unworkable.
It depends on what I'm doing. I find for the broader stuff, I like to be at an easel.
Oh really?
Yeah, for like the broad strokes. But then fine tuning, I like to be over like this, like hunched in. But you know, it's not great for the back, so I'm very conscious about posture. I hate the idea of like being hunched, like, you know, for hours at a time. You know,
Yeah.
Quasimodo.
Quasibonco.
Yeah. But I might see a chiropractor to get my back checked, just in case, you know. I think my back's alright. Do I look like I've got a slumped?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'm trying to think what to do about shadows. I think I might do a few shadows into the pipes here. I think that's what's stopping me. I need to think of a light source, maybe. I might do a shadow go down here.
That's what makes good art, isn't it? One of the main things in my art, in my eyes, sort of when you got really good use of light and shadows, and that really can make.
Oh, 100%. A boring image, dynamic as anything.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff, I can't remember the artist, but some stuff I've saved in my inspiration folder is just like a tiny bit of a white outline, just hinting at someone's there, but it captures everything you need for your mind to build the rest up. Amazing. Let's go in wrap close and personal now. Got lovely hands now.
Thanks, man.
Were you a fan of the T800 Terminator design?
Of course.
Yeah. I was one of the first time I saw that when I was a kid.
Scary, man.
Yeah, it's my first movie memory, I think. Watching Terminator. We were on holiday in Tenerife and I was really young. And I came into the hotel room and my parents had it on in the background. It was just on the TV. And I remember it was at a scene where they're in the factory at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And it's walking up the stairs. I remember looking and for some reason I was so young, I thought, oh, it looks like C-3PO. But then I remember thinking, that's not C3PO, and I started getting really scared.
Just
and,
that scene where it's walking, dragging its foot
love it.
from behind,
Yeah,
like
in
the
fact,
stop
it's-
motion.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah. Just relentless.
Well, that music, that film's perfection in my opinion.
Yeah.
Terminator 1 is just, obviously Terminator 2 is an amazing action film, but Terminator 1 is just, I love it. In a few little textures and things like that, but when I start tightening this all up and working on the light sources, things just start having a bit of a dynamic. So I can do a bit flat at the moment. Beautiful, just beautiful. Oh, so clean.
Night night.
Oh, sweet dreams. No, you're gonna be snoring again.
Yeah.
Loud enough to the point where I think you're screaming. Gosh, what a mess. A lot of tidying today. But here's where we're at. So yeah, we're gonna call it a night. Might do a little bit more on this tomorrow, but yeah, we've got things to a little bit of a nice little stage. Maybe the rest of this now will be in part 2, and that will be us in Bedford at a nice convention at the beginning of September. And yeah, it'd be nice to meet you guys. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you in a few hours when we rise from our slumber. Day 3. Morning.
Morning.
Oh, there. Not too bad at all. What have we got going on here? Oh, that's looking good. Solid, tight. Rough base coat. Bring out the colours and then tighten everything up with the lines on top. Then you're just going on top of everything and refine it all.
Yeah.
A 4-stage plan.
Sometimes it can be a bit time consuming, just getting all the detail back in again. But I mean, this is quite washy, but once I get all the detail back in again, obviously all these heavy black lines I'll get rid of, but it's just, for me to
build it back up.
yeah. But then I'll really start once this is all sort of lined out. I'll really start putting the heavy paint on, like with square brushes or something.
Yeah. We'll go to the Apple store, fix a laptop, and yeah, we will keep you guys updated. Flip it round, Lol. Yeah, man, looking really good. Get out of here, fly. What's up there? It's that Breaking Bad episode.
To lose 100,000 followers
Yeah,
in one.
Lovely stuff. Lovely.
I will put more wires in.
Only man. It is live, we are filming. So yeah, it's been an emotional rollercoaster the last few days, isn't it, Noel? Noel's gonna head back to Oxford, and we'll be seeing each other on 30 days of September, April, June, and November. What does it 31? There's a 31, so the 31st I'll be seeing you. Just go there with the bare minimum to finish it off.
Yeah, all of right, I've got all this outline and stuff done. But never mind.
Hope you've enjoyed the video so far, guys. Part 2 will be coming as soon as I put it together after the convention, where we'll be finishing this off. So yeah, maybe we'll see you guys there. And if you do, come by, say hi, don't be shy. Noel's very approachable, he's like a gentle giant.
Looking forward to hopefully seeing you there.
Yeah.
And you can hit Chris with stuff as well.
Hey! And then part 2 will be coming in the not too distant future. Lovely stuff. Don't leave me. No.
I'll leave you my plates though to wash up, mate, if that's all right.
Your crockery. I'll see you in September. The Genius Bar, fixing a laptop with this little cheeky monkey. Well, Noel is gone and order is restored. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. We've only seen a few minutes of the footage, so at this point here I have no idea whether this video even works, but either way, I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll pick up some tips and things like that, because that's the main thing. And it's been good fun for me and Noel as well to sort of get together, catch up, and make some art. I'm sorry, Noel, but I'm going to just do a little bit behind your back on this. I know I said I wouldn't to you, but I'm only going to do a little bit, about an hour's worth, just to tidy a few areas up and just get a clearer idea of where I want to go with this, because at the moment I've done
the basics of so many different areas, I'm a little bit unsure of the direction it's going. So I just want to get it set in my mind so that when we go to the convention, I know exactly what I'm doing. I also might add some texture to some of these background areas as well, even on your side, because that can be painted over and it will be dry in time for the convention. Also, I'm going to try and work out what colour I want the background to be here. I'm actually thinking of a weird, what's it called? Dust blue, I think. Dust blue? I can't remember, but a bluey sort of tone anyway, which might complement the image a fair bit. But other than that, I'm just going to go in with a few pens now and render a few areas a little bit and just get it up to a nice stage where it's about 60% in the right direction, and then I can just tidy it up with Noel over the 2 days at the convention. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, guys, so far, and like I said, part 2 will be coming in the beginning of September, straight after we've done the convention. I mean, this video you're watching now is going to be quickly put together because we want to get it up in time, as I've got another video coming and loads of other stuff to focus on in the build up to the convention, so I better get cracking. So yeah, sorry Noel, I'm going to do some more work. The colour I was trying to remember is a pale powder blue.
Well, I'm not going to lie, but I actually feel a little bit guilty doing this behind Noel's back. But I'll have a drink for you, my friend. I'm only going to do a little bit on this. I'm not going to get too carried away. It's just that I want to flesh out a few areas just a little bit more. What I'll probably do at this stage now is bring in different markers and pens, and I will then be using paints at the Comic Con to finish it off. I think pens are a nice thing now to bring in, as I can just tinker about with different colours and experiment, and then I can put it all together at the last stage in September with acrylic paints and little brushes and things like that. So I'm just going to have a little fiddle around, render a few areas with some pens and just see what happens and see if I can get a clearer idea of where I want things to go. Alright, I'm just going to mix up a few acrylics now and just see how they go on top. Just going to pick a few little areas at random. And hopefully with the acrylic I'll be able to bring a bit of a shape back to things, tidy up stuff, and make things stand out where they need to. Details I've lost I can quickly re-add back in, and then I can just reshape them with pens or brushes. Same one here. So I want various components like this area here.
to look like it's coming out at the side. So I'll just add a few highlight edges in certain places to bring that out. I want this little section as it's on his cheek to look a bit curved. Add a little bit to his eye as well, and I can work out what sort of colours I actually want to have in the eye. I'll probably do some washes, some reds, make it look a bit bloodshot. It's just a case of guessing where highlights might potentially fall. Just add a few spots around here so it looks wet. It's a little dark in here now, so I'm going to get some lamps on the go. What I'm going to quickly do now with a white pen is use this ruler and just tidy up some lines so I can shape the details back in. A lot of this is very loose and messy looking, so using this pen and ruler I can give myself a white underbase again, which is a nice surface for me to paint back on top. So just be a little bit careful when you pull away a ruler, as you'll end up dragging the paint with it. So just out of curiosity, I'm just going to add a little blue powder, pale blue, whatever it's called, here, and just see if that pleases my eye. I think it'll look quite cool. It'll make the white parts of the armour stand out nicely as well. So yeah, I think I'll go with that, and I'll vary the tones in and around the image and then find a way to blend it into the darkness of Noel's black space here as well. But yeah, I think that looks quite cool. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for part 2. In the meantime, I will be uploading another video. Yeah, that's going to be 3 videos within a month, which is amazing for this channel, but definitely the route I want to go on forward in terms of content for this channel. It's my main focus. It's just very hard, but I keep saying that. I hope you enjoyed meeting Noel, and if you would like to meet us in person, then come to the NICE convention in Bedford on the 1st and 2nd of September, and you can meet us there, see this painting and all our other stuff. Down below this video I'll have some links to Noel's social media and website, so you can check out more of his amazing art. I think that's about all I've got to say, so thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your guys' support and sticking with me on this channel. I promise you I've got so much to edit and then give. You know, there's so many paintings on the go at the moment which I'm filming, so there's going to be an awful lot of content very soon. I've just got to find that nice balance of fitting everything in, you know, and getting stuff out. But I will get there. I will get there. And if you can, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, because there's lots of good stuff to come. And obviously let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this and you want to see more videos like this. I mean, Noel and I would like to do a lot more videos together, whether it's going to art stores to look at art supplies and talk about that sort of stuff, or 1,000,001 other things that you guys could possibly suggest. We're up for pretty much anything if there's drink involved. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for part 2. And I think it should be in about a week or so's time, my full process picture for the demon you might have seen in the background of some of this video. That's going to be about a good hour and a half solid in-depth process tutorial video, so hopefully you'll like that. But thanks guys, I love you very much, and we'll be back real soon with part 2 of the collab piece.